The goal of utilitarianism is to maximize pleasure and minimize pain and discomfort. It can be compared to a mathematical scale, keeping score or points for each side calculating the good and the bad of all sides. Utilitarian's desire is to maximize happiness. When applying utilitarian philosophy to capital punishment, for example, jurors must weigh in both sides, seeking the side that has the most pleasurable outcome. Let's take, for instance, a convicted child molester has received the death penalty. How would a utilitarian calculate this sentence? I think the best illustration of this would be a scale. Let's look at my balanced scales of justice. On one hand, you have the pros for the death penalty, and on the other hand, you have the cons against the death penalty. Let's look at a few of the pros. One pro for the death penalty is its permanence. A criminal cannot cause any more harm. Another benefit to the death penalty is the closure that it will bring to the victim, the family, and even the community. On the flip side of these two, there is no way for the criminal to atone and be rehabilitated. Also, his family will feel loss and grief. But on the plus side, the taxpayers will no longer have to pay to feed and house an inmate. And it also sets a precedent that may deter future crimes. But the cost of years of legal procedures to obtain the death penalty is often very costly. And do criminals really read the news? Will it be effective? But that is the thing about death. Death is a natural fear hardwired into everybody. So it may very well be a good deterrent. But the death penalty goes against pretty much all of the world's established faiths. Although it is a long drawn-out process, more likely than not, an innocent will not be executed. But innocents have been executed, so is the risk worth it? Last but not least, criminals learn most of their skills in prison. Take, for instance, John Dillinger was just a petty thief until he was put in the general population with people that had life in prison. That made him into a master thief. Not to say this will be common for every case. Not all cases are the same. How do we calculate this? How do we remind ourselves what the weight of a crime is? The innocence robbed from a child by a monster can never be regained. We must maximize what is best for all. In this case, removing this perpetrator from society would be the more beneficial outcome.